Aldo Figueroa here, and welcome to my second video going over the Wacom Cintiq 13HD. This is an initial impressions video, so we're going to go over the actual device, how it sizes up, physical size comparisons, and also just initial impressions. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So what I have right here, I have the Wacom Cintiq 13HD. I'm just going to call it the Cintiq. Some of you guys have already seen my unboxing video and have sent me some questions. So some of the questions were some size comparisons. So what I have right here is I brought my iPad. This is an iPad, what will be the equivalent to the iPad 3. It has a gumdrop case. And you can see the size comparisons. And also here is my iPhone 5, just so you can get an idea of the actual size. The size of this thing, the Cintiq, it's really compact. I would think compared to the previous version, the Cintiq 12WX, which was a little bit bigger, a little bit wider, and also the screen resolution was lower as well. But you see this guy right here, I'm going to place this on top of my MacBook Pro, just so you guys can get an idea of the size. It's basically the size of a 15-inch laptop, which is really good for portability. Now, one of the problems of the previous version was, but what about the power cables? It's like, yeah, they always shows it's really small, and I'm sorry, Wacom, you guys are notorious for doing this. You show this awesome device, but you don't show us the cables. Well, you know what? They finally got it right. Check this out. The cables are right here. These are the cables. You have a power cable. Yeah, no longer do you have this big old power brick, and here is a breakout cable. It has the connector, which I'm going to talk about in a moment, that connects to your Cintiq. Plus you have your HDMI and your USB. Now, depending on your computer, if you do not have an HDMI input, you're going to have to get an adapter. What I picked up in anticipation for the Cintiq, I went to monoprice.com and I picked up an HDMI to DisplayPort. Mini DisplayPort. Here's the packaging. You can see now, if you're curious, the product ID number is 5311. I'm not advertised by Monoprice, but some of you guys might want to just be able to pick one up. It costs probably less than $10, give or take with shipping. But you're going to need one of these. My computer does not have an HDMI port. So these cables, I've also got this question. It's like, how long are these cables? These cables are about 6 feet long. So this one right here, what we have, this guy connects to the side of your Cintiq, and on the other end, you have 3 connectors. We've already gone over the HDMI and USB, but then you have this connector right here, which connects to your power adapter. This power adapter also has about a 6 foot long cable. So if you're going to just leave it connected to your computer, your tower, what have you, you're going to have some room. If you're going to be taking it with you, I mean, this is what you have. This is all that you're going to take. Here we have the nice carrying case. If we open this up, you can see that here's your stylus. Now, of note, these do have magnets, so they have a magnetic close, which is nice, a really nice touch. Also, what you may not be able to notice, this one already has the stand attached right underneath it. This stand does come off. Let me turn this around. And it kind of just comes off right here. And you can see how you're able to have these, to lift it up if you want the different sizes. Now, a couple things that I've noticed so far. First, if you notice on the back, there are no mounting brackets. So if you're thinking about mounting this onto an arm, you're going to have to find some other sort of solution or check if Wacom has something. Now, granted, the thinness of this device, it's really thin. It's like, I don't know if they would be able to even put those mounting brackets. So for some of you guys, that might be a consideration. You see these slots right here? This is where your stand connects. It has these 2 feet. These 2 latches right here. So you put one in. There you go. And then you just put the other one down. And there it is. Now this one, this Cintiq, just like the recent Wacom devices from the Intuos 4 and up, They're either for left or right-handed. If you're right-handed, you'll probably use it this way with the control buttons on the left-hand side. But if you're left-handed, you just switch it around. It's like, and I do believe these guys would be able to be used on either side. So you can just put it in and there. Okay, so a couple things that I want to mention. First, I want to talk about this nice addition. It has a built-in USB port, which is nice. If you need to connect some sort of device, if you want to connect an additional mouse, you're able to do that. Right here is a power button. But I want to talk about their connector. If you look at this connector, it's like, hey, that looks similar. In fact, it does. Let me have a better image video of this connector. If you look closely, it kind of looks like the previous iPod, iPad connectors. It's very similar, but I've tried it. There's one very, very minor difference, is that the iPad connectors, let me try to get one and show you the comparison, and that they look the same. Now, I'm not an engineer. I don't know if all of the pins match up, but physically, they're not compatible. If you look on the bottom right here in this edge right here, there's a little bit less space. Now look where the silver backing, how they line up. For the Cintiq, it's slightly towards the left, where on the iPod connector, it's more centered. So physically, you can't put one of these in. Why are these important? It's like, or why is this an issue? Why was this a concern? If your adapter breaks, maybe it's like, it would be nice to be able to replace it with maybe one of your iPad connectors and adapters. I don't know if it would work. Another consideration that I've had, though, that I want to talk about, and I'll talk about more once I connect my Cintiq, is that this connector right here connects onto the side. And if you guys have had any experience with your iPad connectors or iPod connectors, you know that this is kind of a weak point for this whole device. So this right here, I just keep made a note of it. Is I make sure not to have anything bang towards it or hit it. I would hate for this to break off. You know, I have small children, and if they're around this device, I want to make sure to take care. Proceed with caution. Alright, what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to stop this video and connect this device to my computer, so I'll be right back in a moment.